Hello farmyard friends. This is a little weird. I'm not at my house. I'm in a completely different area and this place does not have fences. Well, high fence. Yeah, that's like 3 foot tall. But I am at my other garden, which it's not my garden. I just helped take care of it. It is my great-grandparents' garden. I did build this for them, but I wanted to give you guys some more inspiration as to different things that you can use because, as you know, I'm using kiddie pools, buckets, things like that. But they took being creative to the next level, which I built all of this. They did not build it. But the inspiration for this came from my great-grandfather. He said, we have tiles in the garage, and I said, well, tiles work, let's use that. And these garden beds, they are so unique because, I mean, no two tile is the exact same height just because it was harder to get in some places, roots, things like that. But I'll show you. They look just so unique. I tried getting them as perfect as possible. This was last year that I built this, so in 2022. But this garden is just, I mean, it looks so good. And the trellis, before I show you guys, the trellis is really, really messed up. But that's not the point. Okay, these are, I'm sorry, I have all my stuff here right now. They have 2 of these. I don't know the length. I'd say probably 10 foot long and 4.5 foot wide, maybe even 15 foot long. I don't know. I don't think it's 15. I think it's more like 10. But yeah, these are their 2 little gardens. They, last year, and I'm going to try to do the same thing. Their trellis is janky right now. The beans were too much, and mine did the same thing, so I think I spaced them too far, maybe not using the right cattle pan, things like that. But I'm trying to fix that. And my great-grandfather, he's already planted something, so I'm going to show you these. He transplanted these. He's really proud of them. He really, really wanted, what was it? Cabbage. He really wanted cabbage last year, and I did not start it for them, and I didn't grow any. But he got 4 cabbage transplants. They don't look bad. They do not look bad at all. Yeah, there's a few leaves that are dying, things like that. That's to be expected, but all that's fine. Oh, and then this other bed that I just showed you, obviously, is actually a very unique figure, to say the least. These are actually supposed to have tomato trellises running the full length of the bed. I'm going to cut them off like right before the cabbages. But with this one, we were going to do 2 rows of tomatoes and then I don't know what else in the middle or on the back or in the front half, because if I do, okay, my thinking was if we have them farther apart, like one here and one here, and we leave all this open. It is actually a design that I don't like in my own current garden, is because they left so much space in the middle and that space is not usable. So I will probably end up switching those. But instead of doing that, we could put them really close and then we could have all of this in front and behind that we could grow in. Maybe grow some cooler weather things back here because the sun rises over here and then it goes all the way to behind the camera and sets behind me. So if we do that, then we have the potential to be able to grow some things here that are cool weather. So that's why the cabbages are not where I would have put them. I would have probably put them in the middle because I'm just now thinking that we could do the 2 beds closer together. But we're good how we are. Now I'm going to go over the garden layout, or what I've been thinking in my head for a little bit. I am going to go ahead and plant the green beans on that trellis because... Why am I going to do that again? I cannot think right now. Because I'm going to take the trellis apart and try to fix it, or just see what I can do. I'm going to try to, though, because it was amazing. I might just have to bend some things back and it might not hold up again. If it doesn't hold up, we're good. Also, the inspiration for this garden, and probably see, we do have fencing running all the way through here. The idea behind the fencing and, well, the idea of the fencing and how wide these areas are, like between each walkway there is more space than needed. But the design was by me, but it was for my great-grandfather to be able to get his walker through here. And it made it easier. He could harvest things, he could have a basket on top of the walker, and it was fine. And last year he really enjoyed it. So this year I'm gonna try to do it. I'm trying to make it as efficient as possible, and it's just trying to figure out the space. That's really what it is trying to figure out the space. And last year I figured out that, I mean, they saved tons of green beans. We're gonna have the tomato walls. They did do corn, but I'll show you guys all of that right now in the garden layout. So yeah, let's get started on that. Okay, so you guys are gonna be turned around for this. The garden layout last year, and I'm gonna be mimicking, I'll go over last year kind of as I'm doing this. Underneath this side we had zinnias, which she actually ended up pulling out and transplanting into her pots up in the front so people could see them. Same thing with this side, we have zinnias. We had zinnias here, and then on both sides of the other side of the arch trellis I had green beans. The green beans did fairly well, but the bush varieties that we grew did a lot better, I'm gonna say. That could be to a variety of things. The soil was not this deep. We've added probably 5 or 6 inches this year, and I think this is gonna be a lot better. And yeah, we're building good soil, trying to. And then I think we had a marigold heart right there, and then we ended up planting tomatoes because I didn't get the trellis walls up. And then I'm trying to think. Oh, and then I had sunflowers right here. I think I had 3 smaller rows of sunflowers right here. Beans from like that all the way down and then over. And then, no, I did sunflowers all the way through, I think, like the whole middle strip. I'm not doing that this year for obvious reasons. She did want the sunflowers to be seen for obvious reasons. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to do some sunflowers to where people can see them, things like that. So most of the flowers won't be back here. There will be a few flowers back here, so all the pollinators don't just flock towards the front and they actually come back here to visit the garden and the wonderful sanctuary that we are providing for them. But her entire yard is a sanctuary, let's be honest. She has way too many flowers. If I could get into the garage, I could show you, but that's also up to them. They don't even know that I'm here, and they don't even know that I'm filming. So, we're good. But that was that one bed. I didn't really like the layout of that too well. So what I'm thinking this year, because the bush beans did so much better, I'm probably going to maybe do that on this trellis, or I might not plant anything on this trellis. I might wait to do that side for a week or two and just give it some thought, see what they think about it, and if they would rather the trellis not be here because of whatever, or I can turn this entire trellis into tomato walls or into a tomato wall. Either way, I mean, it's not that tall. It's a shorter piece, so we do still have to work on that. But if they want this, I could probably try to get something together or cut it to certain heights. Either way, I'm willing to do whatever for them. But I think what we're going to do is really focus on this side for right now. Well, I'm going to do both, but I think what I'm going to do, and I don't have much longer of this because my storage is not, I need to delete some things. But I do have all of this. So what I think I'm going to do is do beans. Last year I said that I did them from like that tile right here. I think what I'm going to do is go over to, we did it from the second tile that you can visibly see the full backside all the way to the second one. I think what I'm going to do is probably go to the 4th tile, which is 1, 2, 3. Probably right here is where I'll go and cut it off here. And I feel like that's going to be enough beans. We can succession sow in a different area, but I feel like this is going to be a really good place for beans. It was last year. They did really well. It was in an easy spot to get around. It worked. The rest of this I'm not so sure of. I know that the beans are going to go here, and then and I might do squash and zucchini, some other things right here. They had an awesome squash and zucchini harvest last year. They were, well, I only did squash. I didn't do zucchini, I don't think. I might have, but I only really remember the squash being like really, really good. So maybe they just didn't do the rest of that. This area, last year we had the beans, obviously the zinnias. We had squash and zucchini intermediately throughout here. Like, I think we had 4 plants, and then I had corn from probably here over. So it wasn't a lot of corn. It didn't actually do that well, but I'm going to plant it a lot earlier, and I feel like that does help. Little bird. But I do think this is going to help a lot, actually. So that's probably what's going to be the plan this year. Is I'll probably actually do corn. I didn't do a lot, but I think what I'll probably do is space it out a little bit more. It was really close. Soil depth wasn't right. This year we're working on it again, like I said. So we'll probably actually move it out to here, which again gives probably an extra foot or 2. And I might even go a little bit farther and go out to here, because I feel like that works too. And then probably squash, zucchini, things like that. Maybe some green beans. Okay, I'm gonna pause this. My great-grandfather said. I told y'all I did an oopsie. Well, maybe I didn't, but I'll tell you in a second when he gets inside. I started tilling up all of that, and something told me to stop. And it was the right decision because, yeah, he had planted cucumbers and 2 rows of peas. I did not know, but something told me to stop. I knew it, so I stopped. That's fine though. But yeah, I stopped. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the layout done. I just wanted to give you guys. He came back out. Sorry. I just wanted to give you guys a little, like, just show you guys this garden. I do want to do garden tours over here. They probably won't be every week. I don't know how often I'm going to be over here. So that I don't know. But I'm going to try to be over here enough to where I can help with the garden, obviously. And they don't ask for help. Well, my great-grandfather doesn't. But, yeah. Just want to give you guys a quick little show of this garden. Show you different things that you can use. Oh, I didn't tell you. This other garden bed, that whole part, I think that the white pieces that are on the end each. Okay. Sorry. I think the white pieces that are on the end of this are... I didn't see any seeds, but I think the white pieces that are on the ends are pieces of old shelving, which works very well. And then the rest of these wooden boards, we had a horseshoe pit at our house where the chicken coop and the garden is, and we didn't really use it anyways, except for like when like everybody got together, and we don't really do a lot of stuff over there anyways. And the horseshoe pit, it was kind of like in the way. We were just gonna move it, and then we ended up seeing that they needed needed more space for their garden, or needed more stuff for their garden, and wood was really expensive when we were doing this, mind you. So we got these, nailed them together right there, as you can see, and it's pretty well. I mean, the horseshoe pit was there for a long time. We tore it up when we were doing my garden. But yeah, these have done super, super well. And I will get actual measurements and figure that out soon. But he also said that he did 2 rows of peas, squash, and something else. And he came outside a little bit ago, and he was like, he said, I planted 2 rows of this and something else. And he was like, if you didn't mess them up. And I was like, I did not mess them up. I did stop before I got to that point. I did I figured it. I didn't think that it was there for a reason, but something told me to just stop, and I stopped. So, me listening. It's like my gut feeling for once. No, but for real. I'm gonna go ahead and plant this garden. I don't have much longer on my timer, anyways. But I don't have. This garden is going to be something. It's gonna be a trip, to say the least. But it'll be good. It's yeah. This garden was a lot of fun last year. Sorry for the little zone out thing. The garden was a lot of fun last year, and I'm really excited to be getting back into it. Today is cold, a little chilly. You can still plant when it's a little bit cold outside. Just know that it is going to take them longer to germinate. So if you go like up to 14 days, I'd say even 3 weeks, 21 days, I would wait at least that long. And if nothing comes up, maybe resow, but then you could be getting double, which double is not that bad in the garden. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing Monday, and I will see you guys later. I'm filming this the day of too, so mind you. Yeah. But have an amazing weekend, you guys, and see you next time. Bye, y'all.